Today on Good Morning Maine, protesters gather at the State House to call for an end to the bloodshed in the Middle East.
Plus, the Casella Company gives us a closer look at their controversial expansion plan at the Juniper Ridge landfill.
And we'll hear why the Central Maine Children's Museum is moving from Augusta to Waterville. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those stories coming up, including all the latest high school basketball tournament highlights. Today is Destination Devon Day.
Yep.
We'll see what he's been up to and a lot more. But first, to check of the forecast, it looks like a cloudy day as we head into the weekend. Maybe a chance of a little rain or snow. I had to scrape my windshield this morning. I don't know about you, but it was frozen out there.
We only live like a mile away.
I know.
And the difference is stark.
Yeah, I was surprised. I live in Brewer. She lives over in Bangor.
Yep.
And it wasn't a real hard ice, so it didn't take too long.
Right,
But yeah, you might run into a little ice this morning, although things are warming up already.
Yeah, beautiful weekend ahead too. Here's Conrad Sapinski with the forecast.
All right, a little bit of snow back in our area here in town, but look at this, very scattered though, nothing heavy, just pretty light all over the region. A little bit of that rain and snow right by the coast. You got to go just by the water to get into some rain and snow, but that rain and snow line will continue to move into the interior. Now, visibility wise though, 6 miles here in town, Millinocket area, a little bit less than that, and then right by the coast, check out Rockland at around 10 miles, so you know whatever is falling is very, very light. Now, big question, temperatures, right? What is it? Well, right by the coast, we are above freezing. That's why we're getting that rain and snow line right there. Here in town, we're closer to freezing, and then up north, Greenville, Millinocket area, of course, below freezing. So whatever is falling is sticking around. Please be careful out there, especially by that morning commute. Now, later on today, though, we're going to see mid to upper 30s here in town. The more north you go, the more accumulations you're going to get. We're going to be in that battle, that rain and snow line here in town with a light breeze. For tonight though, rain and snow in the morning and then becoming a little bit of a snow shower action going on overnight, but then moving out early, right? So then things are going to start to clear up. Temperature wise though, we're going to be back in those mid 20s. For tomorrow though, upper 20s. So we're going to stay below freezing. Please be careful. It's going to be slick outside, a decrease in clouds though. And look at that wind. We're going to see that northwest wind gusting even up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. So it's going to feel a lot colder than that. Now, hour by hour forecast showing that rain and snow in the area, temperatures slightly above freezing.
All right, thank you, Conrad. We'll see you later on. Well, protesters held what they called a die-in at the State House on Thursday. They're calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and an end to what they say is Maine subsidizing weapons manufacturers. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard was at the protest and has the story.
If you ever wondered what you would have done during the Holocaust, this is it. This is what you would have been doing.
Around 24 protesters filled the halls and floor at the State House on Thursday. The protest began around 11 a.m. when demonstrators crashed a pre-planned event in the Hall of Flags held by the Maine State Chamber of Commerce and held what they called a die-in, where protesters lay on the ground and pretend to be dead bodies.
So we're trying to bring awareness to the fact that these manufacturers work in Maine and they get a lot of tax subsidies and credits from municipalities and also from the state legislature.
Protesters moved from the Hall of Flags to the 3rd floor under the rotunda as lawmakers were exiting the House chambers.
And I asked them if Israel should exist, and they said no. And that right there is genocide. These people chant from the river to the sea, which is a genocidal slogan to wipe Jews off the face of the planet. And I don't agree with that. I agree with the existence of Israel and Jerusalem, and I pray for the people of Israel.
Savage claims the real genocide is being committed by Israeli forces in Gaza.
At the last time I checked, a couple of days ago, they had killed 12,500 children in Gaza. They've killed about 65,000 people. Another 65,000 are buried under rubble and haven't even been identified yet. I used to teach the Holocaust. I'm a retired teacher. I know what this looks like, and I didn't think I'd live to see one on cell phone videos every single day, seeing children with their bodies shredded.
The protest lasted around an hour, and no demonstrators were arrested. At the State House, I'm Corey Bichard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
A bill seeking to ban paramilitary training in Maine will make its way to the governor's desk. On Wednesday, the bill passed the House by a narrow margin of 66 to 60. In the Senate, the bill squeaked by in a vote of 18 to 14. The bill would make it a Class C crime for someone to teach, demonstrate, or train one or more people in the use, application, or making of firearms or explosive devices for the purpose to further civil disorder. The bill will now either be signed or vetoed by Governor Mills.
More funding to update sexual education and consent curriculum in schools may soon be coming. The Maine Senate debated a bill that seeks to allocate $500,000 to update Maine's sexual education curriculum. It would also implement what supporters call comprehensive family life education services. Opponents are concerned this would include adding instruction on gender identity and other LGBTQ issues.
Well, this is doing nothing more than providing ongoing funding with no change to current legislation. No change at all to current legislation.
Counseling that involves some really delicate issues, like gender therapies, gender conversion therapies. Counseling that should involve the parent.
Passed the Senate in a vote of 20 to 12, and it now makes its way to the Maine House.
Educators gathered at the State House to lobby support for two bills they would say would help with staffing shortages. The Maine Education Association is the largest union of teachers and education support staff in the state. They say wages in Maine for both groups are a big reason why more people aren't filling the number of vacant roles at school districts throughout the state.
So we need to do something about the compensation for our educators in this state. And so there are two bills. LD 974 would raise the minimum starting wages for our hourly employees, all of those ed techs and custodians and drivers, and 1064 would be raising the minimum teacher salary. These have bipartisan support. So how often do you hear the word bipartisan these days? But these have bipartisan support.
The bill to raise minimum wages for hourly employees was unanimously approved in committee on Tuesday and is waiting to be taken up in the legislature. The other bill to raise teachers' baseline salaries passed both the House and Senate last legislative session and is currently waiting to be funded.
Well, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign is suing Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows over rules limiting the collection of signatures at polling places. Kennedy, who's running for president as an independent, accuses Bellows of unfairly prohibiting his team from collecting signatures at polling locations during the March 5th primary elections. Secretary Bellows says under Maine law, no person can campaign at a polling site for a candidate that is on the ballot for the election that day.
Maine law is very clear. Within the voting place itself, a person may not influence another person's decision regarding a candidate for office or question that is on the ballot that day. That's why no presidential campaign can collect signatures on presidential primary day. That being said, when a candidate's office is not on the ballot, they can absolutely collect signatures. There's a statewide election in June. Certainly, Mr. Kennedy can collect signatures then.
Who are not affiliated with a party must collect at least 4,000 signatures by August 1st in order to be on the November ballot.
Maine authorities continue to crack down on illegal marijuana growing operations. The latest case happened Thursday in Passadumkeag when the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office carried out a drug raid. Officials say they discovered an extensive cultivation facility on the main road. Along with 40 pounds of processed marijuana, they also seized several bags of cultivated plants. They also found a small amount of suspected methamphetamine. 3 men were detained, including a 67-year-old man from New York who was arrested and charged with unlawful trafficking and scheduled drugs. The other 2 men were released.
Well, police say the owner of a diner in Auburn was likely making and selling drugs out of his business for nearly 10 years. On Monday afternoon, police pulled over 43-year-old Darren Dewan as part of a drug investigation. Officials say they found drugs and a gun on him. And after a search warrant on his home and business, the Happy Days Diner, officers say they found crack cocaine, ecstasy, 17 guns, and more than $25,000 in suspected drug money. According to court documents obtained by our media partner, CBS 13 in Portland, Investigators believe Dewan was making crack after hours at his diner and that he had been selling drugs from his business since 2015.
A person was arrested after gunshots rang out in a Lincoln neighborhood Thursday morning. Around 8:30, officers responded to a report of shots fired near Spring Street. Lincoln Police Chief Mark Leonard says when officers arrived, they found 45-year-old Laura Burrill firing a gun from the porch of her Katahdin Avenue home. Authorities blocked off the intersection. Burrill told police she fired shots into the air because of frustration over a situation with her dog and a neighbor's dog. Chief Leonard says it's the second time in 11 days shots have been fired in the same neighborhood.
Much like the other day's incident where we had a similar incident in the area of Spring Street, frustration boiled over to discharging a firearm, which obviously the Lincoln Police Department or any other law enforcement agency does not support.
Chief Leonard says that area is heavily populated and people were traveling through there to get to work, making it even more dangerous. Burrill is being charged with discharging a firearm from a dwelling and reckless conduct with a firearm. Leonard says officers are continuing to investigate the incident and additional charges may be filed.
Well, there was a scare at Sunday River on Thursday. More than 200 skiers were on a lift during the busy school vacation week when there was a mechanical issue. The operators had to stop the lift, and 10 minutes later, the crew started a rope evacuation to bring people back down to the solid ground. It took more than 3 hours to carry out that evacuation. No one was hurt, and the resort is giving replacement tickets for another day. The state says that lift will need to undergo an inspection before it can reopen. Not a fun day for a lot of those skiers. Imagine being up there. Some of them were up there for like 3 hours just kind of hanging out and waiting to be rescued.
No thanks.
So, no.
Ugh, that's awful.
No.
All right, the time now is 6:12. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, some local residents are concerned with how a landfill expansion will impact the local environment. But the company says it's necessary. We'll give you a closer look.
Also, another check of your forecast. Looks like today will be a cloudy day. There's a chance of rain and snow as the day rolls along. Not a lot of snow, just enough to kind of mess things up. The highs will be around 37 degrees. Mostly cloudy with a chance of rain or snow tonight, with lows dropping down to the low 20s. Tomorrow, the clouds will start moving out of the area, although it will be a windy day with highs of 28 on your Saturday.
R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily, we offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, one of our many savory soups, or a pizza, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after a long workday? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Nexium 24 Hour prevents heartburn acid for twice as long as Pepcid. Get all day and all night heartburn acid prevention with just one pill a day. Choose acid prevention. Choose Nexium.
Local news weeknights at 6 with Beth Jones and Peter Dubois on ABC 7.
Well, of course you're doing well. You're here on Wheel of Fortune.
Let's go win some money.
These contestants are going places. Scandinavia. They're moving and shaking and getting it done here on Wheel. You could try to make it look a little harder.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
Last week, demonstrators protested against a proposed contract extension between the state and Casella Waste Systems to operate the Juniper Ridge landfill, citing concerns about the facility's effect on the environment. If an extension is approved, the Juniper Ridge landfill would actually see infrastructure expansions. Our Matthew Durantzik gives us a closer look at what the company has in mind.
Casella is looking to expand its operations at the state-owned Juniper Ridge landfill. This push comes as Casella officials believe the facility is nearing capacity.
That location has plenty of area to work within. It's a great location, geologically suited for this kind of activity. There's buffers all around it. it's a accessible location, yet remote.
Casella is currently in talks to extend its current contract with the state. The company believes the landfill's limit will be hit before the current February 2034 deadline. However, the prospect of a contract extension has sparked pushback from environmentalists, who've accused Casella of having a history of mismanagement and causing unnecessary pollution.
It seems like for the last 6 months or so, they've been admitting that it's a problem that they can't really control. And so it's discouraging.
According to Wells, Juniper Ridge is expected to reach its 10 million cubic yard capacity by 2028. He says extending the contract to February 2040 would allow Casella to add an additional 12 million cubic yards.
Behind me, this is active cell 15, where more than half of the state's trash is taken. Once this cell fills up, trash is taken to this cell over here. And once this cell fills up, that's when the expansion is needed.
You're really talking about infrastructure that's necessary to ensure that costs at the municipal level, at the household level, maintain consistent, and there's a place from Maine to manage that waste.
In Alton, Matthew Juroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The Bucksport Town Council and community members came together in light of recent news concerning their town's non-operational landfill. The Maine Department of Environmental Protection granted the operator of that landfill an extension in determining its future. That move left town officials and community members questioning Maine's DEP's decision in making that process. According to the Bucksport town manager, the council is currently awaiting a response to her recent email, which expressed her disappointment in the decision. Before the end of March, town councilors suggested writing a formal letter to the DEP asking how they reached their conclusion and why the town wasn't notified until after the fact.
It states for the future of the landfill other than closure. And my question remains, why are we considering anything but closure?
There's also suggested keeping a positive relationship with the Maine DEP in order to work towards the council's goal of capping and closing that landfill once and for all.
All right, the time now is 6:17. After the break, Devon's destination takes us back in time, even if it's only back a couple decades.
Plus, a lot more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Don't get cold feet this winter. Stay warm and dry with high-performance footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. With an extensive selection of winter boots rated from 0 to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll find comfort in knowing your feet will be warm in any weather. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear with grippers built right into the sole, with boots in stock up to 6E and size 17 for men and women. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's turn things over to Devin Dagnall now, who is in here with the latest Destination Devin. Good morning, Devin.
Thanks, Emma and Craig. Before we get into the story, I've got to ask, when was the last time you rented a movie? Now, I don't mean renting on demand or on Amazon or somewhere else online. I mean going to a physical place, walking up and down the aisles, and picking a hard copy of the movie you want to watch for the weekend. Been a while, hasn't it? There might even be some of you watching who have never had that experience. What if I told you there's a place right in the heart of Belfast where you could? Let me tell you all about it in this week's Destination Devon.
And she said, Mom, I was just in this store. They had movies, but the movie wasn't in the box. You took it to the counter, and they'd hand you a movie in a different case, and they said you could have it for a few nights and then bring it back. She thought it was this bold new idea, and she couldn't wrap her head around it.
Opera House Video in Belfast is a business that has truly stood the test of time. Since 1995, the independent video store has been slinging movies despite chain stores, rental boxes, the age of streaming, and a global pandemic.
Whenever I heard about another storefront closing or a business shutting down, I thanked my lucky stars.
But that begs the question of why? Why is this blast from the past still standing when there are seemingly more convenient options with an endless supply of films? Well, according to the sole shareholder, owner and operator president, Dennis Howard, part of it is the carefully selected catalog they have. He says it's not uncommon to log onto a streaming service with thousands of movies and shows, but not a single one you actually want to watch.
If you know what you want to watch, sometimes the video store experience is still the only place you will find that movie.
Howard says along with that catalog, the fact is he and his employees get to know their customers personally, which means they can recommend movies based on preferences that algorithms can't even calculate.
What AI at this stage, or their algorithm, does is if they think you like Godzilla, they might recommend every other Godzilla movie, but it doesn't quite get that there might be another reason that human being rented Godzilla. Humans are much more unique and interesting with their choices of what to watch than I think any algorithm can wrap its digits around. And knowing the customer base, that may be, knock on wood, it may be one reason we're still here.
In Belfast, Devin Dagnall for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow.
No, Opera House movie, Opera House film. Yeah. I can't even remember the name of it now. I was just thinking about like how awesome it is to just be able to walk into a place and walk up and down the aisles. There really is an energy when you walk into that place like, ooh,
Yeah.
what am I gonna get?
Well, I love places like that too, and it's like I prefer to see what's in front of me.
Mhm.
It can be a lot harder to find what I want to watch on these streaming services. So that's great.
Yeah.
Belfast has really got all sorts of options for folks.
all sorts of little gems.
Yeah.
It used to be like a weekly thing for a lot of people too. You'd go to the rental store, Blockbuster or whatever, and get a couple of movies, maybe a game or two for the weekend.
Right.
I remember going with my family and my brothers and going like, all right, we got to pick one movie. All of us got to choose together, and that was always a fun time.
Yeah, yeah.
Very neat.
Oh, that's
Thanks,
awesome.
Devin.
Thanks, Devin. All right, the time is now 6:23.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
Thank you very much, and what a mess out there, right? We do have a little bit of rain all the way down south, New York City. We're melting that snow away, and then up here, check that out. We got some snow, right? A little bit of rain and snow right by the coast, but other than that, mainly a snow event for now, though. But as temperatures start to rise, we will definitely see that rain and snow line move closer to our area. But north of town, mainly going to stay a snow event. This is very scattered, very light snow, nothing big for our region. Total-wise, maybe 1 to 3 inches at most in some spots. Right by the coast, though, we're going to continue to see that rain in the area, right? Mainly a rain event, especially with warmer temperatures here in town. We're going to be right in that battleground, right? Rain, snow, what's it going to be? It's going to be a little mixture of both with temperatures in those mid to upper 30s into those afternoon hours. And then by tomorrow, look at that, we are in the clear. We're going to see lots of sunshine, and then same story into the day on Sunday. So get ready for that. Things will be clearing up. Now, we do have a light breeze all over the area. Right by the coast, though, a little bit more of a wind. We're talking around 10 miles an hour right by Rockland, Bar Harbor into Machias. Winds are a little bit more on the breezy end, but still nothing too strong outside. Now, temperature-wise, though, right, our average is around 33 degrees. We're going to be above that for today. Tomorrow, though, we are below average, and same story into Sunday, and then right back up into the 40s. Near record highs by Wednesday, though, into those lower 50s in some spots, so get ready for that. It's going to feel very, very mild by middle of next week, near record highs like I mentioned. Now, if you are a surfer, surf's up, right? Look at that. The waves are near 10 feet right off the coast, so be careful, though, and bundle up. It is kind of cold out there. It is raining and snowing, especially a little bit more rain right by the coast, but the waves are definitely cranked up. For today, though, we're looking at mid to upper 30s, rain and snow showers. That battleground is going to be right in town. We're talking higher totals north, where it's going to stay mainly a snow event. Temperature-wise, they're going to be a little bit cooler. For us, though, mid to upper 30s. Overnight, though, rain and snow mix, and then becoming some flurries and lighter snow showers as temperatures cool off. We're going to be in the mid-20s, right? A little bit of a light breeze, and then we start to clear up. For tomorrow, though, a cold day. Upper 20s outside, decreasing clouds, but it's going to be windy, so it's going to feel a lot colder than that. You want to bundle up. Make sure you got your jackets and scarves. Our extended forecast outlook does show cooler temperatures Saturday and Sunday, and then we warm up Monday and Tuesday.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
Hi, this is Jim with Lowry & Associates. Some guy slid across the center line and hit my daughter. The cops said the guy was driving way too fast for the snowy conditions.
I'm so sorry you guys are going through this. Is your daughter okay?
She just had surgery yesterday. Is there any way you can come meet us at the hospital?
Absolutely. I can meet you at the hospital right now.
Lowry & Associates came to the hospital and settled my daughter's case for $250,000.
I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. Call us. We win for you.
Right now, there's just so much happening in our world. So much at stake at the start of every morning.
Making sense of it all, that's not always so easy.
And that's where we come in.
Good morning, America. We want you to know every morning.
We're right here, and we got you.
Whether you can pinpoint the problem or can't quite put your finger on it, the friendly professionals from Coastal Auto Parts can help point you in the right direction. With Maine's largest network of parts, you can trust your vehicle will have what it needs to get you to the moments that matter most. Because Napa knows the keys to a winning team. And with 29 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts helps keep our communities running. Team up together with the fuel that keeps us firing on all cylinders. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back, everyone. A man in New Hampshire is found guilty of murdering his 5-year-old daughter, whose body was never found. Adam Montgomery chose not to attend the trial and was not in court when the verdicts were read. The jury found Montgomery guilty of 5 counts, including second-degree murder. Montgomery's estranged wife, Kayla, who is also the victim's stepmother, testified that her husband beat 5-year-old Harmony Montgomery, leading to the girl's death. Kayla also says Adam hid Harmony's body for months before disposing of it. Harmony was reported missing in 2021. Police believe she was killed 2 years earlier.
A man in Massachusetts is facing charges after a rocket launcher and drugs were found in the parking lot of a hotel in Massachusetts. Investigators say a detective was surveilling a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot of a Red Roof in Sutton. Sutton police say when the detective approached the vehicle, they found evidence of crack cocaine as well as a M190 U.S. Army military rocket launcher in the car. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms was called out to investigate. The man was arrested and faces charges of possession of a Class B substance and possession of an incendiary device.
Well, a New York City judge denies former President Trump's request to delay having to pay a huge settlement in his civil fraud case. On Friday last week, a judge of the New York State Supreme Court ruled Trump and the Trump Organization must pay a total of more than $450 million in fines and interest after being found guilty of orchestrating a decades-long scheme to inflate the value of his company's assets to obtain more advantageous loan and insurance terms. The former president's lawyers requested a 30-day delay in enforcement of the penalties, but the judge denied that request, saying Mr. Trump failed to explain, much less justify any basis for delay. As part of the ruling, Trump is also banned from running businesses in the state for 3 years. Trump called the case a witch hunt, and the judge and New York Attorney General Letitia James corrupt.
All right, coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll hear about a so-called matchmaker in Bangor who's pairing up seniors who are in need of roommates with ones who suit them best.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Hammond Lumber Company has been a trusted partner of professional contractors, do-it-yourselfers, and homeowners for generations. It's the level of trust that Hammond Lumber has earned by providing an extensive selection of products and materials from industry-leading suppliers, with guidance and support through every stage of any project, including delivery of materials throughout Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company is, has been, and will always be your building project partner.
When the Coach House Restaurant wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. The Coach House Restaurant, family dining at its best with fine home-cooked meals, delicious homemade desserts, and a large menu of tasty offerings for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
The Furniture Gallery's President's Day celebration is on. Your choice of 3 colors, this Ashley recliner just $2.99. Host dinners in style with a new 5-piece dining set, only $3.99. Get comfortable with a new sofa starting at $4.49. Or upgrade to a spacious sofa chaise for just $5.99. All full-price Ashley bedroom furniture still 10% off. And save up to 70% off clearance items. Hurry in while it lasts and save big. Shop local, save money at the Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Newport, and North Windham.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
This thing was an event that took place on a dairy farm, and it was not my after-prom party. Tune in for my new game show, Person, Place, or Thing.
Is this Woodstock?
Weekdays at 10 on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
You hearing that? No. It's good music. It's okay. Good stuff.
Okay, I'll dance.
I just danced to myself here. All right, welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, February 23rd, 2024. It's also National Hospitality Workers Appreciation Day. I did this one just for you.
Oh,
yeah.
Why?
You're always boosting up the hospitality workers.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, give them a good tip. And,
you think I'm hospitable?
Well, you used to work in the industry, so you understand what they're going through.
I know, I'm just poking fun.
I thought you'd like it.
Yeah.
So.
This day is meant to show appreciation for the hard workers of the service industry who strive tirelessly to bring the best in luxury and comfort. It includes workers in hotels, restaurants, bars, tourism, and more. The term hospitality originated from the French word hospice, meaning taking care of travelers. This is a day to show those workers just how much we appreciate them. I've worked in hotels, restaurants, all the above. My best friend is GM of a hotel, and I hear it all.
Yeah.
You know, she gets it all.
They earn every penny of their pay, too.
Oh my gosh,
you know.
yeah. Dealing with the public can be extremely rewarding and extremely tiring.
Yeah, I have seen people, too. It makes me, I almost want to speak up sometimes when they treat people poorly out there.
People can be so awful.
Yeah, just treat people how you want to be treated, and, you know. Set an example.
But on the flip side too, there's always somebody who makes up for the awful customer, you know. So it's fun.
All right, moving on now to some history. On this day in history, way back in 1455, I don't think we've gone back that far. Well, maybe we have a few times.
I don't know.
The Gutenberg Bible was published. It was the first book ever printed in movable type, heralding the age of the printing press.
Cool.
Or the printed book in the West. Before that, I had to write them out.
Write them by hand, right? That's crazy.
In 1822, Boston was incorporated as a city.
Cool.
In 1836, the Battle of the Alamo began in San Antonio and lasted for 13 days. Nearly all of the roughly 200 defenders were killed in that assault. In 1886, Charles M. Hall completed his invention that produced aluminum cheaply, bringing the metal into wide commercial use.
That's why you said that this morning.
That's why this morning, about 3:30 or 4 in the morning, I said that aluminum is my favorite metal.
And I was like, why?
Yeah,
that's not even a good metal.
I was writing about aluminum at the time.
And I was talking about heavy metal.
I like how they say it in Australia, aluminum or something like that.
Aluminium.
There you go, aluminium.
Yeah, I think in the UK too.
Aluminum. So, anywho.
Yeah. In 1903, the U.S. leased Guantanamo Bay from Cuba with the lease lasting an indefinite amount of time. In 1954, polio vaccines were given to the first group of children in the U.S. at an elementary school in Pittsburgh. Wow, I'm so glad that we don't have to deal with that anymore. In 1940, the Walt Disney animated movie Pinocchio was released. In 1991, President George H.W. Bush gave Iraq the ultimatum that they had 24 hours to get their forces out of Kuwait or face war. In 2020, China announced the coronavirus had created the country's worst health emergency since 1949. We're coming up on, we're almost in March, which is when we went in lockdown in 2020, so we're coming up on that major anniversary too.
It's awful.
I was thinking about 2020 earlier, and I was like, wow.
That was a bad year for a lot
I'm
of
really
people.
glad we're that's behind us.
Yeah.
Okay, for some birthdays now. Emily Blunt, she's 41 today. Actor Josh Gad is 43.
He was in Frozen. He played the snowman in Frozen, among other things.
Okay.
I never. This is one of those guys, I don't know his name, but I recognize him. But he has one of those unmistakable voices, too. And he's done a bunch of other things, too.
And a lot of comedies.
Yeah, he's very funny.
I love Emily Blunt, but I just love The Devil Wears Prada a lot.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And she's so funny in that to me, because she's just like eye-rolly type of funny.
And I guess we're not going to know. Oh, Dakota Fanning is 30, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I believe it's 30. I forgot
30
to write that one
already.
down.
Yeah.
I put that in there because she was just a little kid
I
when
know.
we started watching her. So.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she was like yay high.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's all grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. We just got to get through today.
Yeah, the clouds will move out tomorrow. Today we might get a little rain, a little snow, depending on where you are. Just enough to kind of make it a little icky out there.
Woo! Happy Friday.
Right on.
Here's Conrad Sapinski with the forecast.
All right, a little bit of snow back in our area here in town, but look at this. Very scattered, though. Nothing heavy, just pretty light all over the region. A little bit of that rain and snow right by the coast. You got to go just by the water to get into some rain and snow, but that rain and snow line will continue to move into the interior. Now, visibility-wise, though, 6 miles here in town, Millinocket area, a little bit less than that, and then right by the coast, check out Rockland at around 10 miles, so you know whatever is falling is very, very light. Now, big question, temperatures, right? What is it? Well, right by the coast, we are above freezing. That's why we're getting that rain and snow line right there. Here in town, we're closer to freezing, and then up north, Greenville, Millinocket area, of course, below freezing. So whatever is falling is sticking around. Please be careful out there, especially by that morning commute. Now, later on today, though, we're going to see mid to upper 30s here in town. The more north you go, the more accumulations you're going to get. We're going to be in that battle, that rain and snow line here in town with a light breeze. For tonight, though, rain and snow in the morning, and then becoming a little bit of a snow shower action going on overnight, but then moving out early, right? So then things are going to start to clear up. Temperature-wise, though, we're going to be back in those mid-20s. For tomorrow, though, upper 20s. So we're going to stay below freezing. Please be careful. It's going to be slick outside, a decrease in cloud zone. Look at that wind. We're going to see that northwest wind gusting even up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. So it's going to feel a lot colder than that. Now, hour-by-hour forecast showing that rain and snow in the area, temperatures slightly above freezing.
All right, thank you very much, Conrad. A new matchmaking service will soon be coming to Maine, but it's not for finding a date, it's for finding a place to stay.
Our David Ledford tells us about it.
The state's housing authority says that Maine has a severe shortage of affordable housing. A pilot program coming to the state aims to address that issue by housing senior citizens with young people.
Trying to basically make a match.
Nesterly is a platform that helps elderly homeowners list rooms in their home for rent. Similar to a matchmaking service, homeowners with extra space are connected with renters looking for affordable housing.
This is just another way to help solve our housing problems in a unique way. We don't have enough housing units for our population. We're way behind in building, but what we do have are thousands of rooms in existing houses that are available.
This comes as the result of a bill passed last year instructing Maine Housing to complete a bid process for a home sharing service. Recently, the Housing Authority signed a nearly $200,000 contract with Nesterly to explore how home sharing will work in Maine. The program manages listings, provides a way to collect rent, and screens both renters and homeowners. Renters can also sign up to help out with household chores for a lower rent. And Maine Housing says it will help senior Mainers age in place.
A lot of older Mainers own their homes. Sometimes they have more home than they need with their families have moved out. A lot of older Mainers are living by themselves. The companionship of having a roommate is a very important part of remaining healthy in your home.
Maine Housing says they are still working on how and where to implement the service, but Nesterly will begin advertising for the program in the next few weeks. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Wow, what a good service.
Yeah.
It seems like a necessity at this point, too. Okay, moving right along now after the break, we'll have the latest with the basketball tournament coverage.
If you're looking for highlights, you've come to the right place. Don't go away.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Maine QuitLink offers free help to stop smoking and vaping, including personalized quit plans and free patches, gum, and/or lozenges with every program. Get connected to a quit coach, trained to develop a plan that works for you. Learn how to curb cravings and overcome slips and relapses. It's free, it works, and people who enroll are 2 times more likely to successfully quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or enroll online at mainequitlink.com.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money, and I'll fight to get it for you. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Another client had a brain injury, and we got them $1.15 million. If you get hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome in to Fast Break Tournament Edition, brought to you by Dorsey Furniture and Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer. Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. This is Fast Break Extended. I'm Tyler Cruz, brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts and Dorsey Furniture. Day 6 of Tourney 2024. Put a fork in it. It is done. Our semifinals, you can put a fork in those too. We are on to the regional championships as of tonight, but first let's go to our semifinal action. Our first game of the day is a Class D semifinal match. Katahdin Cougars trying to keep the train alive. Wisdom Pioneers trying to get back to that big game. All right, we're going to start this one in the second quarter. Tale of 2 players here. There's Lily Roy pulling up for the jump shot and gets it to go. Here she is again. Here she is again. The step back from the elbow. That is good too. More of the same. And then here we go with the Cougars. This shot, no good. Here comes Hunter Hartsgrove getting the offensive rebound and getting it to go off the glass. All right, late in the third, Katahdin up double digits. Hartsgrove sinks the three-pointer. She had 17 in the third, 22 in all as her team wins 42-34.
I'm just looking forward to playing in the championship game and my high school career not ending just yet, so yeah.
All right, and they will face the winner of this one in the North Final, the powerhouse top seed Southern Rustic, against 4th seed Jonesport Beals. Beals, first quarter, Jonesport's Mia Mills on the break. She tosses it inside to Mary McDonald, and she gets it to go. Royals were up after 1. Second quarter, Cammie Shields kicks it to her sister Allie on the wing. Her three-pointer goes down without touching the rim. They're up 11 into the third now. It's McDonald getting it to Mills. She chucks a 3. That one rattles home. Nice shooter's roll, leading to some points, but Southern Rustic just too much. Here's Maddie Shields out to her cousin Cammie. It's a family affair from three-point range. Warriors back to the final, 57-35.
We had to work really hard for this, and we were going to have to box out, run the floor, and shoot well. So we've been really practicing that, and we knew if we could bring all of that, we would come out on top, and we did, and I'm just really proud and excited.
All right, they move on to the finals with our D boys. It's still Bangor Christian and Skank in those finals Saturday afternoon. And the girls, as we mentioned, the Cougars will meet the Warriors and try to knock off the defending champs. All right, so let's go to Class C now. We'll get started with Class C boys. We have 2 7 seeds in the finals. This Class C semifinals matchup between red-hot 7-seed Mount View against the 3-seed Fort Fairfield. Second quarter, Mount View, Stuart Knowlton to Noah Hurd. His straight-on 3 is money, and he is fired up. That ties the game. Later, Fort Fairfield's Brett Sinai to Micah Daigle. Nice move in the paint. He gets fouled and the bucket. Mount View was up 9 at halftime, though, and that's where it got wild. Third quarter, Hurd on the steal. Look at that speed to the hole for the lay-in. They were up 19 after 3. Fourth quarter, Ben Osborne. Look at this rocket pass underneath to Wyatt Evanson. He gets it to go. Mount View, the 7th seed, going to the final, 66-40.
We picked up this pace on offense, which made them go and chaotic, and we were able to do good on that.
All right, moving on now, the other boys C North semifinal, defending regional champs and top seed Calais against the 5-seeded Hodgdon. Second quarter, Siren Carleglio over to David Tuttle. 3-pointer from the left wing is money. Final seconds of the quarter, Calais' Jeremy Turner into Philip Bassett, switches his pivot foot. Look at that turnaround J at the buzzer. That rattles home. Blue Devils up 11. Third quarter, Hodgdon on the break. Tuttle, look at that sweet give to Dan Henderson. Count the hoop with the harm, looking like Jason Williams there. Later, it's Turner this time, splitting the defense, faking everyone out by getting it to Oliver Clark, who puts it up and in. Calais goes back to the regionals, 42-27.
We were definitely on them defensively. I mean, our trap was good. They definitely just couldn't handle it. Our rotations, robbing that pass, forcing a bad pass, and then just driving it down the court.
Moving on to Class C girls now. 2 semifinals remain between us and the regional title games. Can PVHS get back to the promised land? They need to get past Fort Kent first. First quarter, Fort Kent's Lily Oliver over to Lily Werntgen. She pulls the 3 and she converts for the lead. Later for the Howlers, Ellie Austin to Brooklyn Raymond. Happy birthday. That is a gift right there from the basketball gods, that roll. Howlers up 13 after 1. Second quarter, it's Ashlyn St. Cyr on the steal. She'll gladly take that to the rack and finish it off. They're up 24 at the half. And in the third, Austin off the steal, tosses it down court to Riley Moulton. She finishes with the left hand. PVHS wins 55-12.
We score from our defense, so if our defensive pressure is intense, it creates a lot of turnovers, and we score from that.
All right, and finally tonight, it is top seed Dexter and Mattanock Academy, the 4-seed battling. First quarter, Tigers passing it around the perimeter. Ends up with Abby Corson, who hits her 3-pointer, nothing but nylon. Later on, here for the Lynx, Navina De La Cruz with the floating pass over the head of the defense into Addison Cyr, who gets the job done at the rim. Nice touch on that assist right there. Second quarter, De La Cruz again, this time to Lauren House on the right wing. Count the 3-pointer. Dexter led by 10 at the break, though. And in the third, here come the Tigers again. Corson, a quick bounce pass to Hannah Dean in the paint through the contact. The defending champs move on to defend their title, 42-27.
It feels amazing to be back here where we were last year. We really just worked together as a team because we knew that one person couldn't do everything and that we all had to work together.
All right, so that is going to leave us this for the boys. Mount View will try and dethrone Calais in the finals. And for the girls, it'll be Dexter and Penobscot Valley once again battling to see who gets to the gold ball game. All right, that is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back.
The most important thing is family. AAA shares the same family values. For over 100 years, AAA has been providing legendary service and has helped what it values most, its members. Join our family, and you could save on your auto insurance policy with our competitive pricing. Just like family, we offer you our support when you need it, whether it's questions about your policy or with our most trusted roadside assistance service. Visit AAA.com/insurance and find out how much you could save.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
The insurance company wants nothing more than to deny your claim.
Deny.
Meet John.
Delay.
The adjuster. He sticks
Deny.
to the 3 Ds.
Delay. Deny.
No, devalue.
And if he does have to pay, it's often with a very tiny check.
At first I was going to delay, and then I thought, no, denied.
They called the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Maybe we should settle this one.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pencos region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, my love.
For the first time in over 50 years, a U.S. spacecraft has landed on the moon. The spacecraft, nicknamed Odie, caused plenty of drama on its way to the lunar surface, but the head of NASA said the company behind it aced the landing of a lifetime.
Houston, Odysseus has found his new home.
This morning, history on the moon.
We are transmitting, and welcome to the moon.
After a week-long flight totaling more than 620,000 miles, a 14-foot tall lunar lander named Odysseus successfully landing on the lunar surface just after 6 p.m. Thursday. Mission Control reporting that the craft is upright and transmitting data.
Today, for the first time in more than a half century, the U.S. has returned to the moon.
Odysseus, or Odie, is the first U.S.-built spacecraft to land on the moon since 1972. The company behind Odie, Intuitive Machines, is the first business to land a private spacecraft on the moon. But it wasn't all smooth sailing.
And we'll stand by and monitor as Nova Controls continues to work this issue.
As Odie prepared to land, Mission Control found that the navigation system used to guide the lander to the surface wasn't working.
We're not dead yet.
Luckily, the team was able to rewrite the lander's software, taking control of an experimental navigation system.
I know this was a nail-biter, but we are on the surface.
Odie is now at home on the moon's south pole. It's the first of many missions NASA has set to explore the area, which is suspected to have ice that could be converted to drinking water or be made into rocket fuel.
The moon has 1/6 the gravity of Earth and no atmosphere, so it's a much easier place to launch deeper into the solar system. It really is the launching pad into human exploration out into deep space.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Very cool. It's just amazing they managed to correct their problems too. Otherwise, that whole mission would have been scrubbed.
Yeah, right?
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool footage too. All right, now here's meteorologist Conrad Zapinski with one final look at our full forecast.
Thank you very much, and what a mess out there, right? We do have a little bit of rain all the way down south, New York City. We're melting that snow away, and then up here, check that out. We got some snow, right? A little bit of rain and snow right by the coast, but other than that, mainly a snow event for now, though. But as temperatures start to rise, we will definitely see that rain and snow line move closer to our area. But north of town, mainly going to stay a snow event. This is very scattered, very light snow, nothing big for our region. Total-wise, maybe 1 to 3 inches at most in some spots. Right by the coast, though, we're going to continue to see that rain in the area, right? Mainly a rain event, especially with warmer temperatures here in town. We're going to be right in that battleground, right? Rain, snow, what's it going to be? It's going to be a little mixture of both with temperatures in those mid to upper 30s into those afternoon hours. And then by tomorrow, look at that, we are in the clear. We're going to see lots of sunshine, and then same story into the day on Sunday. So get ready for that. Things will be clearing up. Now, we do have a light breeze all over the area. Right by the coast, though, a little bit more of a wind. We're talking around 10 miles an hour right by Rockland, Bar Harbor into Machias. Winds are a little bit more on the breezy end, but still nothing too strong outside. Now, temperature-wise, though, right, our average is around 33 degrees. We're going to be above that for today. Tomorrow, though, we are below average, and same story into Sunday, and then right back up into the 40s. Near record highs by Wednesday, though, into those lower 50s in some spots, so get ready for that. It's going to feel very, very mild by middle of next week, near record highs like I mentioned. Now, if you are a surfer, surf's up, right? Look at that. The waves are near 10 feet right off the coast, so be careful, though, and bundle up. It is kind of cold out there. It is raining and snowing, especially a little bit more rain right by the coast, but the waves are definitely cranked up. For today, though, we're looking at mid to upper 30s, rain and snow showers. That battleground is going to be right in town. We're talking higher totals north, where it's going to stay mainly a snow event. Temperature-wise, they're going to be a little bit cooler. For us, though, mid to upper 30s. Overnight, though, rain and snow mix, and then becoming some flurries and lighter snow showers as temperatures cool off. We're going to be in the mid-20s, right? A little bit of a light breeze, and then we start to clear up. For tomorrow, though, a cold day. Upper 20s outside, decreasing clouds, but it's going to be windy, so it's going to feel a lot colder than that. You want to bundle up. Make sure you got your jackets and scarves. Our extended forecast outlook does show cooler temperatures Saturday and Sunday, and then we warm up Monday and Tuesday.
My name is Pam Crowley. In 1 year, I had to take care of burial or cremation arrangements for 4 family members, including my husband and my sister. I could not have gotten through everything without my funeral director, Cindy, at Bragdon Kelly Funeral Homes. Cindy greeted us as a friend. During her arrangement, she was so personable. Cindy is so patient and understanding. She gave us assurance, comfort, and she has such a great smile. The best thing that Cindy did is take such good care of my husband. He had some issues before his death. I felt very worried that he would not look right. When I saw him, he looked like my husband. Cindy took excellent care of him. Seeing him definitely helped me feel right. Cindy did more than I ever expected of a funeral director.
Bragdon Kelly Funeral Homes. Let our family serve yours.
Nexium 24-Hour prevents heartburn acid for twice as long as Pepcid. Get all day and all night heartburn acid prevention with just 1 pill a day. Choose acid prevention. Choose Nexium.
With remote access from Katahdin Federal Credit Union, you can manage your money from anywhere. Don't let banking get in the way of living. Remote access from Katahdin Federal Credit Union.
Tonight,
there was something horrible going on inside that house.
2020 is all new.
Could it be that stress from a home renovation was a motive for murder?
Do you really know what's going on with your neighbor next door? Do you?
2020, tonight on ABC.
All right, looks like we're about out of time this morning. If you missed anything, you can head to foxbangor.com.
We'll continue broadcasting on, what are we, Fox 22. That's where we are. Okay, I need more coffee. That's all there is to it.
That's us.
But if you're heading out for the day, we hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here Monday.